Gaddafi was a nationalist. Gaddafi supported the cause of the Arab people. Gaddafi supported the cause of the African people. Gaddafi funded non-state actors like the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the Irish Republican Army, and the African National Congress. Gaddafi downed a flight. Gaddafi spilled blood like a hungry hyena. Gaddafi was a madman. Or let's just say, Gaddafi was the madman. But it's true that Gaddafi ruled a mad country, always at the brink of sectarian violence. And Gaddafi kept it peaceful. And when Gaddafi was gone, the mad country erupted into madness. But maybe there is an end to this madness because another Gaddafi is making his way to the political scene. Hi and welcome. This is TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. And I'm your host, Atul Vishra. In this video, I will tell you about the re-entry of the Gaddafi name in the Libyan politics. Let's begin. We have some really interesting news coming in from Libya. The war-torn African nation has junked Obama's legacy and is falling back upon the Gaddafis. Slain Libyan dictator Mu'ammar Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam, wants to restore the lost unity of his country, even as a war-torn Libya struggles to emerge out of a brutal civil war that broke out after the brutal lynching of Mu'ammar Gaddafi in the year 2011. Mu'ammar Gaddafi's son has made a public appearance after several years. In a rare interview with NYT, Saif al-Islam said that politicians who led Libya after his father's death have brought Libyans nothing but misery. Saif al-Islam added, "It is time for a return to the past. The country, it's on its knees and there is no money, no security, there is no life here." During the civil war, 3 of Gaddafi's 7 sons were killed. Saif al-Islam was taken captive by a Libyan militia in November 2011 and was released later. Later, a Tripoli court sentenced him to death for committing crimes during the revolt. However, Saif al-Islam is confident that these legal issues could be negotiated away if a majority of the Libyan people choose him as their leader. As per NYT, Muammar Gaddafi's son said, "I have been away from the Libyan people for 10 years. You need to come back slowly, like a striptease. You need to play with your minds a little." In a bid to reach out to the people of his country, Saif al-Islam said, "We are like fish and the Libyan people are like a sea for us." He added, "Without them, we die. That's where we get support. We hide here, we fight here, we get support from there. The Libyan people are our ocean." People in Libya are getting nostalgic about Gaddafi's reign. True, Gaddafi was a crazy dictator who said crazy things, but at least with Muammar Gaddafi in power, oil was selling. The country was united, money was coming in, and there was some peace. In fact, as per Ellen Brown, the founder and president of the Public Banking Institute, it was thanks to the 2016 publication of Hillary Clinton's emails that the reason behind NATO's entry into Libya was revealed. It was to prevent the creation of an independent hard currency in Africa that would free the continent from its economic bondage under the dollar, the IMF, and the French African franc. That hard currency would have allowed Africa to shake off the last heavy chains of colonial exploitation. So regardless of whoever he was, Muammar Gaddafi was trying to make Libya and Africa rich. Libya was better off under Muammar Gaddafi's reign. Things went south for Libya only after Obama, abetted by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, decided to invade the African nation. US NATO intervention in Libya was meant to protect the African country's civilians from human rights violations, but there is no evidence to verify allegations of human rights violations. Hillary Clinton, after learning about the brutal murder of Muammar Gaddafi, exclaimed, "We came, we saw, he died." However, Gaddafi's wasn't the last death in the Libyan civil war, which was sparked by the US invasion of the African country. Gaddafi was killed by the US-recognized National Transitional Council forces. After his death, a bloody Game of Thrones descended upon Libya that involved jihadist terror groups like the Muslim Brotherhood and ISIS. In Gaddafi's absence, Libya got crippled by political and religious differences. Today, Libya stands destroyed by chaos, with the Muslim Brotherhood government fighting a 2-year-long battle against former Gaddafi general Khalifa Haftar till the elections in March this year. Libya became the subject of an international dispute with Egypt, France, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia supporting Haftar, whereas Italy, Qatar, and Turkey supported the Muslim Brotherhood government. So the question is, what was the point of Obama's Libya invasion? He did try to use the Benghazi terror attack to cover up his failure and justify the intervention in Libya. But Libyans seem to have understood that their nation was destroyed because of Obama's interventionist policies. Later, Obama had tried to do the same thing in Syria, take down a pro-Russia Bashar al-Assad. Therefore, the allegations of Assad cracking down on his people came up only when the Obama administration was making desperate attempts to enter Syria. Obama's policies led to the rise of ISIS, and he would have forced a regime change in Syria just like he forced the one in Libya, had it not been for Russian President Vladimir Putin. Today, the Arab world is re-establishing ties with the Assad regime in Syria because they understand that Assad is the one holding his country together. Libya falling back on Gaddafi and the Arab world re-establishing ties with Syria are two important developments that show how Obama-era policies are becoming outdated and getting junked by the Middle East.